Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and today I am using my How to Kill a Kit with Style, which is part of my Counterfeit Kit Challenge, and scraplifting Lisa Cunho. And Lisa Cunho is my scrapbook table on YouTube and Lisa Cunho scrapbooking on Instagram. And I took this picture of a layout she created from Instagram, and she actually doesn't have a video that I can see on this one, which is totally cool. But make sure you do go check out her channel. She does very pretty stuff like this all the time. Her stuff is just gorgeous. I've seen these circle bits created by a few different people, like Tara the Paper Snob has a layout that she's done, probably maybe even the same workshop that Lisa did for this one. And so it did take me a little bit off screen to figure out how to make them so that they weren't all wonky. So what I did is I die cut out the circles using a Hip Kit Club circle die, because I don't have a very big actual punch. And then I played around with a couple and made them really wonky. And then I decided that I would use a scrap piece of paper, and I made a square that fit inside that would work to fold it over with my trimmer. And that's how I got them to be about, they're not all perfectly the same, but they're pretty close that way. But it took me a good, I don't know, 45 minutes to figure out those. So that's not on here today. If I would do another page like this, I'll make sure I'll show you the process of those circles. If you really want me to see it, just let me know too, because I will make sure I do that on one of these days. And I'll make it a priority to show people. Yeah. Anyways, I've got the two papers there. The cardstock, I got it because I thought I'd probably use the cardstock on my photos. I haven't picked my photos out yet, but I'm thinking this is probably going to be Easter-y. I have this little package from the scrap room, because I did get a paper or two, I think, from this collection from the scrap room. It could be the farm, one of the farm ones too, but it got thrown in all together with the Gather collection, and this is Gather from Echo Park. And I pulled all those little squares I took out of, I think I used 4 different 6x6 papers from the paper pad, because I do have that too. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to totally kill this with style, but I'm going to definitely try. So I'm looking through Easter photos here, because I have quite a few in a couple different spots, and I thought I would have, in those ones, I'd have these ones where I knew one of the kiddos was in this greeny, well, both are in green. So I pulled out the ones where they actually match this paper, which is pretty awesome. And so there's two of them standing and posing, and them sitting at the table with their baskets, and then this one will be for the oldest and her reaching to get eggs, because they still did the egg hunt at this point. They didn't do it this year or last year, so oh well. It's one of those things. Eventually they just want the chocolate. And I did not make the rule that they have to find the chocolate to get the chocolate, so I guess that's my doing. But I thought maybe this one could end up on this layout, but it's not going to. They'll end up in their books at some points on with one of their Easter ones. I'm not sure which Easter those ones are from, but every year we put them in those spots. So one year I took pictures of it so they could see it. So not a big deal. The other 2 photos I'm also going to matte in this dark green, and I have enough of it, so not a big deal. And guess I could have taken a little bit of that out, but oh, it's in. And then I'm like, all right, so let's get this going on this layout. So I'm going to get the squares starting to put down. Lisa's page is so pretty. I don't know if I said that or not, but it is so gorgeous. So I did choose really pretty, delicate papers so that I could mimic hers a little bit that way too. Because, oh, and if you're going to put a doily on a page, you kind of need to have pretty, I think you need to have pretty papers to go along with them so that the doily doesn't feel left out. Another thing you could do for this kind of layout is stagger the boxes. I have them all lined up, which is what Lisa had on hers, but I totally could move it down half a box and have them a bit staggered, which would look nice too. These would be neat in, like, if you skipped as well. So I am, because of how deep these are, this is going to be like a fairly dimensional page. So I am, this foam tape is pretty thick, and I'm going to do two because that's what I need for this paper. I did want it still to look like it was folding over, even though it was underneath the picture, for the little bits that you could see. Otherwise, I would have probably just glued the one side down and went, not a big deal. But there was some thought in that, so I did think about that specifically. If you can hear my dog eating in the background with his toy, my apologies. I hope that's not that loud. But it is what it is. And then on this other side, I did have to put double the tape as well, just so that it stays even. And these ones both can be flat. And so I'll get this doily down too. Get this on here. Try to make sure it's somewhat straight without using my T-square, because my T-square would be a little harder to navigate on there with all that dimension already. And then these I'm just going to slide right underneath a bit. So it does mimic, not quite exactly what her pictures are, but she does have some that are overlapping, and I am doing that. So I'm going to call it good. So, and then I noticed that she did have, I think it's like a transparency acetate piece on the top and the bottom. So I am going to put a little bit there for paper, just as a landing spot. You'll see a little bit of it in both spots, but not really that much. But I decided this would work well, and easy peasy done. And now it's time to embellish. So I have these brads for embellishments, so I'm going to use some of these. I have this label piece that says, "Let's make the best memories together," and I thought that would be cute on here. So again, this has to be doubled up, and I am, if you're noticing, I'm taking some of the backing of this very sticky foam tape and putting it on the back side where it's sticky, and so like the backing piece, and cutting that so it doesn't gum up my scissors. And that was a great tip I got from somewhere, but I don't know who. So if that was a tip that you made, thank you. And then I'm looking to see if there's anything else. So that's pretty. So I'm going to use that circle. I am going to decide where it goes. I'm going to put half of it here and half of it sliding underneath, and it looks like you have two of them instead. And that adds a little bit of interest into that plain square. And into this other dark plainer square, I'm going to put a little bit too. There's a brad that goes there. The one that's underneath the floral and the doily at the top says home on it. And then I'm going to slide this sticker underneath because I felt like that corner needed just a little bit of something. The brad at the bottom there has flowers on it. This one I'm going to pull and put somewhere else. And then I thought about this flower elsewhere, but it's not going to get on this layout. This says happiness, and it's going to go over top of this one. And I am going to put one layer of foam tape on either side of the fold, just so that it sits nice. I wanted it to go off the page matting just a little bit so that it's onto that outside mat. And then a couple more breads, and here are the close-ups. And I really like how this one came together. So if you are new to my channel and you liked how this came together, please give me a thumbs up. If you do want to see me do those circles on camera, just give me a comment in below and I will try and do that. There is a playlist for May I Scraplift You below, and there's also a playlist for How to Kill a Kit with Style below. So make sure you take a look at both of those. And I have Lisa's YouTube linked below too, so make sure you go take a look at her stuff. Thank you so much for being here today. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Have yourself a wonderful day.